Yes.
Man, you good? You comfy?
I'm comfy, man. I'm chilling, yeah.
Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you having me through.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
You know, I don't usually give a ton of intros. I let people intro themselves, but I'm going to do the honors today. We have multi-talented artist, DJ, producer, maybe somewhat of a producer.
Somewhat, yeah.
Right?
I mean,
enough of it, right? We have a man who has played a lot of roles and worn a lot of hats. He came to see me today because on a promo for his album, which I am a proud purchaser of. I actually just downloaded it. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this is Kev Mic Check, y'all. KMC, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, bro. Welcome to the platform.
Appreciate you having me, dog. Thank you. That's one hell of an intro right there. Hell yeah.
And please take your own time to tell people, the origin story about Kevin Mic Check.
Oh, man, it's a lot. As far as like rapping, I started in 2009, freshman year of high school. I started listening to hip hop in 05, fifth grade. And then, I was just picked up since then. From there, in class, I had my old iPod and I was thinking to myself, you know what? If the guys I'm listening to right now can do it, why can't I, is what the thought of it, So I was listening to Snoop Dogg one day and I was like, let me try something similar in that style, but didn't really feel. A lot of my early stuff was so cringe in the sense because I was trying to be something I wasn't, but the lyrics were dope at the end of the day, As far as my name goes and everything, I thought about K9 was one that when I was young and everything. Then KMC came along because it mixed with my name, Kevin McDonald, and stuff like that. So I figured I'd use those alliterations, but I never had an acronym to add to KMC. So I started doing stuff in Colorado, and then Kevin Mic Check came to mind because I was like, I'm always the sound guy usually. I'm the DJ. I like to do mic check, make sure the shit's working. Can you hear me now kind of stuff. So Kevin Mic Check came to be, you know what I mean? I'm just chill guy, as most people say, you know what I'm saying? That's really my brand right
So if you're looking for a producer credit, let's say you're the live show producer. As a sound guy, we don't get a show without a sound guy. You've produced a lot of shows in that regard.
Yeah, right? Shout out to all the sound engineers I work with at all these venues, man. It makes the job so much easier because without them, like sometimes I'm just mostly running the music, you know what I mean? And sometimes I do need someone else who can run the mics and stuff while I make sure the music is playing for the artist at hand.
Valid as shit. I am a studio engineer. I go crazy in the studio. I'll find all the chords you need, but if it's in the middle on the fly at the show, I panic, bro. That shit is it's a whole different world.
Yeah, no, understandable. It's a crazy topic. And even for me getting the DJing, because my name K-Mac has always just been a nickname for me. Everybody's just always called me K-Mac. And then when I added the DJ to it, when I picked that up in college, I was like, okay, I can see this working in some sense. You know what I'm saying? I started picking up working with the sound team at my college and shit, working with different events that we brought because we bring out comedians from like Wild and Out sometimes. So it's good to like.
What school did you go to?
Eastern New Mexico University. So I'm from New Mexico originally.
That's what I thought. I was like, if my research stands correct, you lived in New Mexico, but you also lived in Africa. Yeah,
grew up a little bit all over and everything. My parents, because my dad worked for the U.S. Embassy and met my mom in Africa when she was living out there and stuff. They're one of just traveling and shit like that. And, just been together ever since. They got together in 92, married 93, and then I was born 94. And she's been good since then.
So where in Africa?
Mali is where she's from. Okay. So that's like Western Africa right there. You know what I mean? Right at the top up there and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, you already said that. Are either of them from there?
No. My dad's from New Mexico originally. Okay. Yeah. So he's from Roswell, New Mexico. My mom's from Bamako, Mali is what it's called.
Okay, so she is from over there.
Yeah, she's
from over there. So your dad worked on the embassy. Was he military or?
No, not military. He went to school. I'm trying to remember his major was. He was something in like, not like political science, just within like State Department stuff. But he joined the Peace Corps after he graduated and stuff like that. So he got to help people overseas and everything, and he just stuck with it and stuff like that.
He's a serviceman of sorts.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's major. Are your parents still around?
My dad passed away, unfortunately, back in 2024.
God bless, man.
Yeah, just the old age and dementia, unfortunately, got to him and everything.
For sure.
Great inspiration of me. Just taught me to always keep working, really. You know what I'm saying? You can't really live without working at the end of the day. My mom's still here. She's back in New Mexico, just chilling over there in Rio Rancho with the chihuahuas that she lives with there. Yeah, my sister as well with her husband now, newly husband and everything. Yeah, so it's good to still have the family around, stuff like that. So,
dementia's crazy, bro, because people will be like, oh, well, there's worse ways to die. And I guess for the person who's dying, that might be fair.
Yeah.
But the people who live around the dementia, that's almost one of the worst ways to watch someone die.
It's something, man. My mom would call. I'd make sure to stay in contact with her since we first found out. I think 2021 is when it started to really kick in and stuff. And then I was just staying in touch with my mom when they went back to New Mexico. and she would just tell me like she makes me strong. My mom with her African mentality, she made me strong and shit like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes she's just like, hey, sometimes it is what it is, but she still loves him. She still took care of him. Make sure to stick with him through the end. But yeah, it's a crazy thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gangster, bro. So New Mexico, Africa. When did you end up in Colorado?
So funny enough, my parents moved out here in 2015, and I was still in college around that time. So I would just visit every now and then. And funny enough, once I started visiting, going back and forth to Colorado, everybody in New Mexico somehow forgot I was from New Mexico, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Kevin. He's from Colorado." I'm like, "Well, technically, I guess, yeah, you know what I mean." But second home for me. But I moved out here 2018 in March.
Okay.
After I graduated college in 2017.
Cool.
So I was just like, I just really didn't see much to do out there. I wasn't making much money at the jobs I was doing. And so I figured, you know what? Let me just go to Colorado, figure out the weed game, figure out the music game again, and see what goes from there and stuff.
And so you were already fully invested in being an artist?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, not necessarily the artist. I kind of dropped that when I got to college, just freestyled with the homies, did random stuff. I picked up DJing, and I loved that more just because I love all kinds of music. I love a variety of stuff. From hip hop to reggae, funk, cumbia, dubstep, you know what I'm saying? So I got a country even, you know, I mean, I grew up, the college I was at was a country hip hop kind of town and stuff. So I picked that up as well as filmmaking with my degree. So I was trying to focus on that. But then when I came out here, I did my first big show, Unsigned Hype. It was at the Speakeasy in Springs. And after that, I was like, after getting to know the scene and just DJing my first show with artists, not necessarily playing music, but actually working with artists, I was like, let me dip my toes back into it and everything. I can still rap. I can still progress. And then that's when I feel Kevin Mike Check was more born at that point, you know?
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Colorado kind of has that, like, clarity aspect to it. Like, people come out here just to, like, breathe mountain air and think about what they want to do. And sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't. But I think everyone comes here just to be like, let me get away from the hustle and bustle of some other shit or the boring bullshit where there's nothing going on. Like, I need to see the world for what it is. It's a perfect happy medium.
No, absolutely. And I love New Mexico. I love my cities and everything. But for me, it was definitely, it's also the travel bug. My parents love to travel too. And I kind of want to get back to that aspect as well. So for me, let me take that first step and get out of here. Let me see what Colorado's all about. Everyone's like, oh, it's so expensive. How are you going to do stuff? You're just going there for the weed. Partially, of course. I go front on that shit. You know what I mean? I love the game. But
you should go somewhere where there's not weed.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it was crazy when I came out here too, because my state was different at the time. It was only very rarely medically legal. Cool. When I came out here and saw the aspect of recreation and places to smoke, I was like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, all right, let me see what's up, you know? But yeah, just a good stepping stone to finally come out of that comfort and realize, what do I want to do out of this, you know?
Right.
And definitely, of course, COVID shutdown really hit the gas mark on that one, you know?
COVID was crazy, bro. Hold on, I'm hearing this fan going.
No, you're good, you're good. Yeah.
Am I tripping? No, that was it. Or maybe it's my computer.
It happens.
So, Chop and Chill, that represents Colorado kind of well based off of what you just said.
Yeah.
So you might have one of the most visually representative albums in the industry right now as far as what can represent us as a whole, as a culture.
No doubt.
So where did Chop and Chill come from?
So it's crazy how it built up and stuff. I was really trying to figure out what my sound was with everything, and as it progressed through all the projects I did, chopping and chilling really came from the idea of not just chopping in the sense of rapping fast, you know what I mean, which I did do a lot with my earlier stuff, and I've learned to like balance it out with what I do now. But more of the sense of like talking it up with your people and everything. Let's chop shop. Let's see what's up and everything. And chilling, of course, that's been the casual thing of what I do anyway and stuff. We have the kickback at K-Max is what we call it and stuff. Yes. You know, we're just chilling. Sometimes we're listening to music, watching a movie, talking life, just seeing what's up and everything like that. So it's just really the concept of just talking and just hanging out with your people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Whether it's about business, whether it's about life. You know what I mean? It's just really good conversations at the end of the day with how I look at chopping and chilling. But then I look at my style with this, like, yeah, I do have a little da-da-da-da to my raps, which over some smooth beats, it really does sound pretty dope when I have a way to master it, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what you like to listen to.
Oh,
I imagine, you know, I feel like people shouldn't make what they don't like just because other people.
No, hell yeah.
That's what they like. You know
you're all good. You're all good.
I'm going to assume it's in this desktop, but I'm like, this noise is driving me crazy. So I'm going to flip it off.
I feel stuff.
Might be my fan. There. Yeah, there's always some technical bullshit acting out in front of company. Chop and Chillin' is dope. The title itself, though, it seems to already be doing a lot of the work.
Yeah.
You told me where the phrase comes from, but what qualifies that to be like Like what I'm saying is somebody else could say that they're chopping and chilling.
Yeah.
You have already depicted that in sort of your lifestyle, but how do you make sure that the rest of the world knows that you're the chopping and chilling king? How do you brand that? You know what I mean?
I think that was established too in my previous project before that, the King of the Chill.
There you go.
For me, because it really is just my brand. I'm all about chill vibes and dope rhymes at the end of the day. Is how I look at my brand and stuff like that. So the chill and identity when they see it with that, and then on top of that, my show performances. Sometimes you would think just how energetic I am with how I perform, I wouldn't be that chill, but you can hear the emotion, the passion in my music and everything, and how that brings it to life, basically, and how I interact with it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, my niche has been adapting movies I like to my projects. And Chopping and Chilling was adapted from Be Cool with John Travolta, Cedric the Entertainer.
Is that where a lot of these samples come from?
Yeah, the
Cool.
movie samples and everything.
Like,
yes.
you know what I think? Fuck that.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit's hard.
I love that because it was a PG-13 movie, and that is the rule of PG-13 movies. You can only use the F word once. So he's like, he just said, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It was the best use of it, in my opinion.
For them. Yeah,
so that's really my identity, man. I'm just kicked back. I love chilling, talking with people about stuff, you know. I get into some serious topics every now and then, but you know, mostly like, hey, there's silver lining somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just, I don't know. Like a lot of people, we as artists, we tend to see ourselves in other art, but displaying that is hard sometimes because we don't exactly know how to get the message across. So it's like, bro, throw the exact moment of my inspiration into that song. Let them hear what I was hearing. But now they hear it in the context of my song. So you're repackaging it. I love sampling like that, bro.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing and everything. Like, shout out to Mixed by Blitz. That's my guy right there at Mount Olympus Studio. He's a hella good producer, hella good engineer, hella good just and more executive producer as well, because the way he like instructs me and helps me develop my sound through some of these things. And with the project we're working on now, I'm definitely excited for what we got coming up next for sure.
Yes, sir. That's one of my favorite things to do is really lock in with an artist, build that sound with them, be a part of something that nobody else can recreate. You know what I mean? What was the moment that you knew, maybe Blitz was a part of it, but what was the moment that you knew the album was actually finished? Maybe not even recording wise, but you're just like, this is enough songs. This is what I want to say. It's only 5 songs long. So.
It is. It was originally 6. I just took out that one because it didn't, I guess it didn't fit the vibe. It felt very much more sad and everything because I was talking on some more other topics that didn't fit the vibe of that one. You know what I'm saying? So I might use that as a single. But yeah, I think the moment we realized it was done, it's hard to say. It's really probably when we got all the features in and everything like that. So once that was in and I knew we were good from there, this is completely done. But I think for me, aside from the project being done, it was more or less that I want to release it. Because originally I was just going to drop this and be like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? That's another project. But then I saw, as time went on, I saw one of my homies, Mike, he wanted to throw me a release party for it and everything. And I thought, I mean, we don't have to. Yeah, no, bro, we can. You've done a lot of good shit. Let's throw you a release party. Let's get some people involved and celebrate what you've done and everything. I'm like, you know what? That brings the camaraderie of what the project's about and everything. It's really kicking it with your people because I treated it as not like a networking event. It's a chill event. Come through, check out the vendors. Let's talk it up. Let's catch up and everything. Everyone had a blast at the listening party. So I think for me, way before that, like once he talked to me about doing the listening party, I was like, all right, this project's official now. Let's put some work behind it for sure.
When somebody else validates you, it's always bigger.
It is. Definitely it is. You know what I mean? I feel like you should. I always like Rick Rubin's thing too about like the audience comes last. You got to create your art for you and stuff like that and then see how it goes when you're marketing it. But definitely when you get that outside validation, it's like, okay, that makes it 100 times better for sure.
Definitely. And you have said that you make music for what's called the average Joe, meaning the everyman, the people who are never going to, not never, but generally don't expect themselves to do anything magnanimous or different. They're just enjoying their own life. And I want to say that that's beautiful. That is an underappreciated concept in life because we all, in the age of content and Instagram, everybody wants to strive for thousands and upon thousands of pieces of attention in any way, shape, or form.
Virality is contagious. You know what I'm saying?
Beyond attention, you have focused on wealth, on income. You are going direct to streamer on this album through Even. Talk about that experience with Even.
So even I first found them through LaRussell, funny enough, and everything. When I saw what he was doing, I saw Dizzy Wright was doing it as
Thank
well.
God for Wendy Day.
No, right? Hell yeah, Wendy Day too, man. I miss the Chico podcast so much. I wish they would bring it back. But anyway,
shout out Kingpin.
Fucking Kingpin, Ferrari, man. I love them all. But yeah, even though when I saw that, I was like, okay, let me take the opportunity. It was still new from what I could tell and everything. So let me do this with King of the Chill at first. And I had a crazy outline for this project of doing. You pay this tier, you get a shirt here, you get a poster here, I had planned a whole AI fucking musical journey with it because the project was inspired by Lord of the Rings and stuff like that.
So dope.
Hell yeah, I fucking love that project right there. But so I didn't really do a lot of all that. I just did what I could. I got the posters at least, and I still got to get some out to some people. But with Even, I was like, okay, let me see what it's all about. And they had an offering service at first. I don't know if they still offer it, where I could talk one-on-one with one of their team members and everything and understand how the platform works. I asked them questions. Hey, how's this affect my back end? How do I do this? How do I apply this so I can figure out if my project is going to be, worth buying for the fans and stuff like that? And King of the Chill was definitely, I thought at first that doing platforms like that was just once you had a good solid fan base, and I was still developing that, but at the same time it also gave me a way to build a community, because with this project with Chop and Chill, and all the people that have bought, I can see their name, their email, number, where they're from, and be like, all right, cool, let me reach out personally. Thank you for purchasing this project, thank you for checking it out, what was your favorite track, hey, definitely enjoyed the behind the scenes little mini doc you got with your purchase and stuff like that. So for me, even once I got into it and started to understand it, this is a way to not only add value back to the music, actually make money and stuff like we want to. Because one of my friends, they paid $25. She said, hey, I paid that for a CD back in the day. So might as well. I'm like, all right, that works out for me.
That's huge.
Hella huge. And then I was just like, this also, it says, like I said, builds community. So that way I can connect with the people who are buying it, understand what they like, and I know they're going to be the first ones to buy the next project, buy the first merch drop. When I get my website up, they'll be the first to subscribe and stuff like that. So
and people say this, like they post this a lot, but I don't think everybody actually lives by it. But this is an example of fucking with the people who fuck with you, not worrying about the people who don't.
Yeah, and
that's huge.
I'm still learning that. Believe me, I was talking to Hypnotic the other day and everything, and and a few other friends. I was listening, like, man, self-doubt gets me every time. It still is something I battle and stuff like that. So I try not to think about the people who don't matter, the people who aren't fucking with the shit, tapping in and all that stuff. I gotta look at the people who are enjoying it, as well as the fact that I'm enjoying it, because this is what I want to do. This is what I want to keep doing. I enjoy media, I enjoy entertainment, I enjoy music, so it's gonna keep going regardless of what the outside world thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. I understand that 100%.
Yeah, but Even's dope, man. I recommend it to every artist, and if not that, like my boy KC and everything, he made his own website and from the ground up and stuff like that, and did his album through there before platforms, $5 a pop for the album, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? It just adds value back to the artist, and we're doing direct to consumer versus streaming. It makes a whole lot of a difference,
Absolutely.
And one cool thing with the insights, I looked at my insights with what I got now. I have to check now with the recent purchase and everything you mentioned, but fucking, it told me when I had $141 in there based off all the purchases, it told me I needed 37,000 streams to make that. And I'm just I'm sitting there fucking A, man, why are we still enjoying this? Don't get me wrong. I have Spotify still for me and my lady. We like listening to music. I have the duo plan. She likes her music on there as well. But also as a DJ, it allows me on the platform I use, DJ Pro 2, to access my Spotify playlist when I'm in venues, so I can take requests if people want that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, as an artist perspective, it's dude, I need 37,000 streams to earn $140. Now, there's got to be a better way, and there is a better way. We just got to take advantage of it. Both fans and artists got to really be one-on-one with this kind of stuff. I
think it's not like you said, yes, we do have a community and there's ways to pour into it and build. But when you see other people with, okay, I'm going to be real, because this gets my heart beating.
Yeah, sorry. I love it. No, go ahead.
I'm a rapper too, and this shit pisses me off, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
But these bitches, okay, excuse me, let me restart. These young ladies show up in droves to Cardi B's concert.
Oh my God.
Looking musty. I'm gonna just say it. Y'all look terrible. God, no. You dress like a Cardi B fan would dress. I'm sorry.
Hell.
And you have people out here Very talented people. Like I'll go as far as to say Spinks, AP, like some of the dopest, flyest, easiest to listen to artists. Not even outliers like you and me, right?
No, true as that.
But they deserve that much support. We deserve that much support. And then we go and we put our fucking lives on the line, standing up on fucking stages all the time. And mind you, there's rappers who don't like us for whatever reason they decide. We end up in beefs. Like bro, it is the fucking least paying, least exciting job, and people envy you for it. They act like they're
it's some shit. Now I get you. Hey, I
saw that.
Preach it. I hear you, man. And it is crazy and stuff. And some people make it seem like and especially when some of the people who like believed in you before, then they see you're still doing it whatever years later, and they're like, oh, you're still up to your little rap thing. What you mean? I've been doing some good stuff and everything.
We were supposed to be here together.
Exactly.
If you stayed on my team, we'd be double the fucking reach by now.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've even admitted like on my wrongs and everything when I look at back and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's the one thing that helps with the growth is not just looking at acknowledging others' wrongs, acknowledging your wrongs as well. So that way you can build something better and everything at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because it just happens like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. The music scene has been crazy. I've seen a lot of growth now, a lot of collaboration lately. I mean, it's slow, but it's surely getting there. And I kind of love just seeing that right now. So personally, it's like, but at the same time, one thing I always think about is making sure myself as the artist, whoever's working with me, we're making sure we're doing our thing, still representing the city, still acknowledging everyone else and collaborating. But at the same time, you got to put yourself out there as well and everything. Sometimes if the hometown isn't doing it, you got to spread your name, spread your brand, and then bring it all back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know the Street Champs podcast?
Yeah, I love Street Champs.
So Derek came through and he sat down a few days ago and he low-key like checked me on something, because something that I suffer from is like the addiction to winning or the addiction to needing to win, right? And he was just like, yeah, bro, the best thing about my team is we're all friends. We go out for bowling and fucking to get drinks and to eat and shit. And it's just like, bro, maybe my friends deserve a little bit more of a friend out of me than just somebody who's always like CEO minded or always business minded. But at the same time, it's like, if I don't, then I feel like I owe them that on the other end. So it's like, I really have to learn how to balance that for myself. Like,
True it. And for me, the one way I put it, one of my mottos is I work hard so I can relax harder. You know what I mean? So I can enjoy the time off that I get, enjoy the time that I made with the money I earned or the time I earned off and stuff like that, hanging out with friends. Even on one of my songs, All Love, on my last project, I said, I just want to say what's up, not just always talk about the grind and everything like that. And even I've done that with friends where I'm that guy as well. Sometimes even I'm like, okay, let's all hang out and do some stuff. That's why I like doing stuff in my crib where people can come over, we can chill. Don't get me wrong, eventually we're going to end up talking music at some point. We can't help it. It's just what we are and all that. But sometimes we are having fun. Like my lady even as well. Sometimes she loves the music and she loves what I do with it. But there are times where she will be like, hey, can we talk about something else that's going on? What's going on with life? Did you see this new thing? And I'm like, I feels you on that. And when we went to my homie Austin's crib for a Super Bowl and everything like that, him and his wife invited us over and we just chilled, had some smoke, had some drink, enjoyed the Super Bowl, and not really talking about music the whole night was refreshing a little. Yeah, no work talk. We definitely enjoyed it. He was one of those fan types too, because he did buy the project that night as well. Good. But we was enjoying our camaraderie. We was enjoying chopping and chilling with really what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I feels you though. Sometimes it is a balance you got to find with it. Even for me, I talked with her last night about this. I'm trying to find that balance still. I am still trying to figure out what the balance is between the work, the life, the music, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff right there.
Shout out to Slug. That was the first Atmosphere song I ever heard.
Yeah.
Trying to find a balance.
Oh yeah, there you go. Fucks with that shit.
So let's talk Colorado for a second.
No, word.
Bro, you know who Young Cali is? Blackifornia, Blackorado?
I did see that video. I don't know him, but I think I know. Is it the video that I posted?
So yeah, apparently he got his chain snatched.
It's wild. That's wild.
Is he okay? Just however that makes you feel.
No, feel free. Good. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't know the guy. I mean, he Angle Front kind of looked like a goof to me already and shit. I just don't really like the kind of style that portrays and everything like that. Sure. So I mean, in my opinion, it's like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I hate to say that. At the end of the day, you decided to flash, you decided to flex. Because I remember back when I was in Albuquerque in high school, Tyga came to town and everything. He was bringing around his gold Bugatti everywhere he went with them. And I wasn't at the show, but I heard after the show, my homie showed me the pictures. They beat that Bugatti, tagged it up. Like, dude, like, you gotta realize some places you can't be flashing like that and everything, you know? And it's just like sometimes just keep it to yourself at the end of the day. Now, however, I don't really condone what happened to him either. Of course. But at the same time, I mean, what can you do? That's just a different part of the city, different part of life and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it was wild though.
That's a valid perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've met bro like one time,
Mm-hmm.
went and did a little interview with him and treated me, stand-up guy, but I don't know him in and out, you know, day and day. But what I will say is that I sort of live my life by what you just said too. Is like I would rather attract as little attention for what I have and more for what I've done.
Exactly.
And he does work. He's put together his brand, and
that's good.
A lot of that visibility just comes from his branding. So I respect that side of it. But I think you are more than 110% right. It's like you get what you put in, and sometimes when you ingratiate yourself in a certain lifestyle, the negatives come back on that too, not just the positives. People want everything that comes with this game,
and the internet doesn't make it any better either. And everything, people can easily find you for some shit and everything if they really just feel some type of way. So it's like you just gotta be careful how you're posting stuff, what you're talking about. I mean, speak your mind. Don't get me wrong. It's just what it is and everything. This is life. This is America. But you know what I mean? You gotta just be careful in certain places and shit like that. That's all I can say. That's even for me. Like I said, I knew some street people growing up and everything, but I never affiliated with the streets like that. Of course. I'm not gonna front. I was what they call a suburban kid and everything like that. You know what I mean? I don't really care either way, but I do, from listening to hip hop and understanding that stuff growing up, and from the people who did experience it, I have a respect and I have an understanding of where, you don't cross the line. You know what I'm saying? You don't fuck around because you're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I relate to that part so heavily because when I was young, my family were known to be affiliated gang members, and then they moved me away from it. And then one day, when I'm doing the engineer thing in the studio, I'm in a session with Tana Tenbirds, who you may know is a trap rapper or gangster rapper out of Denver, Colorado. Okay. I would say it was like Trev, Tana, AP. Those were like the top three for a while.
Okay, yeah. I've heard AP back since 2013, funny enough. That's crazy for me.
So Tana and I found out in the middle of a session that we are cousins.
Okay, shit.
Meaning, if I had stuck around, my life could have gone very differently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, because of the people I know, because of the environment I was raised in, I know how to stand up and shake a man's hand, and I know the difference between a killer and a faker, right? The killer's usually a little quieter, a little more respectful. Usually is going to clean up a mess they didn't make. You know what I mean? Just because, they don't have nothing to prove. Right. The loud, rowdy guy, he's just there to be loud and rowdy. Usually.
Yeah, it was even on Denzel Washington movie American Gangster and shit, where he said like, you can't be too loud, man. You be too flashy.
Too flashy, you get caught. Frank Lucas, Frank White. Which one was it? I want to say Frank Lucas.
I think it's I thought it was maybe Frank Lucas. Yeah, I gotta watch it again.
I know what you're talking about. Great movie. Yeah, bro went out sad. Speaking of places to be careful, situations to be careful in, apparently Dank got his studio raided or didn't. I don't know what was going on.
Which one is this?
A couple days ago, Dank posted himself being escorted out of the studio by SWAT team.
I did not see that. Man,
crazy. You know who Where's Dank is? The engineer?
I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar.
Maybe this is more of a Denver thing.
No, yeah,
so that's fair. You're out of the.
I'm
so Dank is like, I would say Dank is like, if he's top 5, and he's definitely not 5 as far as engineers go. Okay. Right? You guys got, I don't know. I know Blitz down there. Yeah. You guys have I don't know who else. Macado's dope. So like that, as far as engineers go, Dank is like top of the top. We have Mac D Beats out here. We got Bugs. We got Dank. We got Raj.
Right.
We got me. Psych.
Got that plug in. Yeah.
But Dank got there was a video posted a couple days ago of Dank being escorted out of the studio by a SWAT team, and he said it was a joke. Like I texted him, I was like, "Bro, what happened in the studio?" He said it was a joke, but I don't know. I need to go talk to him about it. So I was just wondering if you saw it.
I didn't see it. No, that's wild. I mean, even if it is a joke, that's got to be some crazy strings to pull and everything. Because I sometimes think like, my lady are watching Drewski shit and everything like that, and the cops get involved. Sometimes wondering to myself, I'm like, is this legit? Are they really bringing these niggas in, or what's going on? And
so much, bro.
It's fucking wild to me. But yeah.
So I'm recording on my phone, but I want to show you. Or I'll show you.
You're good. Yeah.
After, but another person who got raided, against, and it was unlawful, we found out, was Afro Man.
I did see a little bit of that. One of my friends sent me that shit. Yeah,
that was interesting. So it wasn't lawful. He got off with that, but then he started making music about the officers who did so. So now they're suing him for like defamation and sexual harassment, all type. What do you think about that?
I think it's funny as hell. First of all, I can go front freedom of speech at the end of the day, right? Like we said, and he had the evidence right there that said, "Hey, y'all pretty much rated my shit without any proper what's the word, paperwork or any of that stuff like that and everything, you know, flipping off his ring can and everything, having guns pointed at his kid. Like, this shit was crazy. So I'm like, you know, do what you got to do, man. You did it. But like, at the same time, as an artist, you got to think about this. No matter what form of an artist, film, paint, music, we're gonna do some reflection of that into our art as well and everything. It's who we are and everything like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's just life experience and everything. I thought it was crazy. When I watched the whole video, I was like, this is actually kind of funny. I was doing this, and I seen that one officer lady cry and everything in the trunk. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
No disrespect to the ladies.
No, right? Like, yeah, just stop being victim right now. You know what you did, and I think I saw this morning. I think he won that too.
I hope he did.
I think he did. I don't know. Yeah, but either way, like, because honestly, at the end of the day, when most artists get sued for their music, they mostly walk away and everything like that. So.
And if he had really been doing something wrong, I think he would have ducked down and stopped hunting for attention afterwards. Because he knew he was in the right. It was his victory lap to do so.
He did good. He's one of those good ones that at least made it out with it and everything. I saw recently Mysticals just got his sentence and everything. I don't know.
That man is a fucking violent person.
That was wild to me when I found that. I mean, I already knew from his music when you hear him on that shit, but I'm just over here like, you're kind of a weirdo, bro. That's kind of
talented weirdo.
Yeah, right?
Because he has hits. You and I grew
No,
up
absolutely. Mystical definitely had hits for sure. You know, Move Bitch was definitely that first one we heard and everything with him and Luda.
Shake your ass. Are you kidding me?
And then I started that. I remember the last one I heard him on was that track with Stevie and Tech Nine. And it was the Rainwater or Rain Dance, something like that. But but then after that, finally got the news. I'm just like, we're here like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
that's crazy. That one really breaks my heart because it's like, you know, like when they're talking about like they pull out pieces of that girl's scalp and shit, bro. Like, but at the same time, the other side of my heart breaks about the talent that we're losing because of it. And I don't ever want to put a woman's safety or prerogative under talent. No, never. But that does still break the rapper heart in me.
It does. So I get what you're saying. A lot of people, me and my homies Truth Hurt podcast, we talked about cancel stuff and everything and like how that affects. I mean, don't get me wrong, we brought up the whole R. Kelly stuff and everything. Sure. Yes, we don't agree with any of that shit. It's wrong. But unfortunately, the music was so dope. It's crazy and shit. You know what I mean? R. Kelly had some great music, unfortunately, but you know, the kind of person he is, we can't vibe with that anymore. That's one of the songs I really don't. Even as a DJ, I already don't play it beforehand, and even before the trial stuff, I just didn't play it just because. No, for me, well, no, it's not that I even knew. Yeah. I just don't play R. Kelly like in public because it's like I just feel it's bedroom music. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it to the bedroom and shit with that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I struggle going in the studio and being like, let me eat your pussy. I don't know, like, don't think that I struggle eating pussy, because I don't.
I'm gonna ask Bliss next time. How does it feel when these rappers be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat you out, I'm gonna do this stuff like that.
That's first second hand.
That shit crazy,
bro, because you know we have to repeatedly listen to songs.
No doubt, right.
So there's a certain rapper I work with. I'm gonna tell you, it's my dog Mosey. You know, I have no problem telling him, but there's a couple songs. This nigga be getting freaky and I pause it when I get to that point. I mix the first half and on the second half I just hope that the mix sounds the same as the first half because I don't want to fucking hear that nasty shit 35 times, bro. That's for you and Shorty. I'm gonna get your mix right.
That's good, man. That's for you and the ladies when this drops and everything. Good to know, you know what I'm saying?
and the one time, and it backfires in other ways too. The one time I did make a song about anything freaky, right? I have a song, you may have heard me play it, it's called MySpace.
I think so, yeah.
It's about sucking dick on the highway. Fellatio. Guess who gets up and starts dancing to it? My grandma.
Oh no.
Yeah, nigga.
Grandma.
Nobody wants that. Then you start thinking about the songs you make. You know?
Yeah, it does happen like that, man. Guys, you gotta watch, because I can go front. For me, that's how the switch I had for me in high school is from freshman year to sophomore year, and even junior year a little bit. I was in this state of like writing what I listened to for my favorite rappers. West Coast rappers growing up. So Spice One, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Wu-Tang, and everything. I was rapping, unfortunately, very gutter, very gangster. You know what I mean? Stuff that wasn't me. Lyrics were dope, but that wasn't me as stuff. So I was still trying to figure out my identity as I went through it. Then I went through a sad part of stuff and everything after I got into like Tech Nine, No Joke, and everything. Love was one of my favorite songs, but it transitioned how I rap and everything. And then probably like once I moved out here and started getting back into rapping, I figured out what the lane is, the niche, or as I grew with it, working with the producers, found in my sound, and I'm like, okay, this right here, I got it now. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect for my life and shit.
Well, now that you've done that, you are what people and yourself would call, I'm sure, a local legend here in Colorado. We all know you for one thing or another.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it a few times.
and I think that's okay. It's a really good thing to have. But does that feel like a ceiling or a launch pad for you?
It depends how you look at it, I guess. I remember first time I heard it was from my big bro Ivory. You know what I'm saying? That's the OG right there. He really taught me a lot of like music, game, industry stuff when I was trying to figure out stuff like there. And then the way he see me grow, that's where he kind of called me local legend after that point. I'm like, okay, I can see that and everything. And then I hear amongst all the people talking this, that, and shit. Even Hypnotics introduced me as like a local legend to some people. And I'm like, God damn, okay, this is pretty cool. It's a dope feeling. You know what I'm saying? It means for me, I've gone up a level. I've gone from the basement artists, you know what I mean, whatever you want to call it and shit like that, to like being known across like the city or even different parts of the state and everything, which is nice, you know. And then as well as online, trying to figure out that persona and stuff is dope. That's really the next goal for me. Is like, yeah, local legend's dope. I love it. Thanks for knowing who DJ K-Mac is, who Kevin Mike Check is, what I'm about, how I do shit and everything like that. But now let me try to hit Utah. Let me hit my home state, New Mexico. Let me hit Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Texas is where I'm trying to go as well. I'm trying to now reach the next level of this regional, then national.
I hope that this visibility and personality shine will help with that branding visibility. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that. No, for real. That's why I even apply myself to these kind of things. But I thought to myself, damn, none of my other projects, I did like very weird rollouts, like all online, just content, rap videos, whatever. And now I'm like, let me do a real rollout with this, like my favorite artists would. When they drop a project, they're gonna go out and do a rollout with these radio stations, these podcasts, all these different things and everything, do these shows. So I'm like, all right, let me do that now. I got different shows coming up where I can perform 2 to 3 tracks off my new project for people to check out and everything. Let them know where they can find it, support, as well as like doing stuff like this. And I get to not only expand on the project, but expand on my story as well and what my brand's about, you know?
Definitely.
So really for me, yeah, local legend means a lot. I don't look at it as a ceiling. I look at it as like, cool, that step's complete. How do I get to the next one now?
There you go.
Figure that out from there.
There you go.
You know
Good for you, bro.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
Your music is already a lot more optimistic than what the rest of the scene looks like, and that might put you a little bit out of place.
Yeah.
Does chopping and chilling change that conversation at all, and do you care?
I'll say first, I don't care. I really don't. I've been doing better about that kind of stuff where it's like, you know, this is my style, this is my niche, this is my audience. Because I mean, there's 8 billion people in the fucking world, you know, we can't get to all of them and stuff. If I can get a good million, that's cool. If I get this certain part, that's cool and shit. So, you know what I mean? Like some people are going to hear your stuff for years to come. Some people are going to hear it for the first time. So really, it doesn't matter what people think. And chopping and chilling, I think, does change it in a sense of more. K-Mac's not just the it's weird to put in everything, you know what I'm saying? There was a stigma to my rap and everything, and now it's different with this project, especially from King of the Chill as well. From that point to this point, it's a different vibe now. They understand that I can deliver, I have stories, I have concepts, I have a vibe. And when I perform it, it's even spectacular. You know what I mean? I love my live performances. I did theater and shit. So for me, I like to express that on the stage more than anything.
That's cool. That's being is dope. That stigma you mentioned it's crazy because it almost feels like you fight your whole life to fight this stigma, and then when people finally say okay, then you're like, but wait, I'm not done fighting, bitch.
I'm not done, dang it. Let me let you know. Yeah, I got so much to prove. I'm not much of a singer, but I have occasional singing hooks, and I'm trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? Figure that out. But the raps, they've evolved, they've changed with stuff and everything, and it's great to see the evolution of it. You know what I mean? And one thing, like I said, that stigma, I'm trying to get out of, like, yes, I do love fast rap. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to also balance it with what I do, because compared to what people think fast rap is, I am not that fast when you hear my stuff. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you can at least hear some clear articulation with that stuff. But my favorite thing with fast rappers is it's the ones who are articulate, who have a story, and really have something to say while they're rapping fast, and have a flow with it. They're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And funny enough, if I got time, I got a theory here real quick that I was telling people and everything. My theory with fast rap is like, so we knew like of the Bone Thugs, Twista, Busta, even like Tech Nine for the underground fans and stuff like that. You knew the uniqueness of those choppers and shit like that. I feel once 2013 with Rap God by Eminem dropped, the landscape changed, because that everybody treated that as the epitome. This is the top level of rap, of what you got to be as an artist, lyricist, whatever the fuck. And then you have everyone out the woodworks dropping all these chopper tracks, da 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 here, da 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 there. I did a bunch of these, this many syllables in this many seconds type of shit, which is dope. I like some of them, don't get me wrong.
But they beat it to the fucking ground.
It got used as a gimmick so hard, and that's why some people are now like, and I agree with some of it, just because you rap fast doesn't make you a better rapper. I still, even as a guy who likes to rap fast, even I say that shit, you know what I mean? It's what you do on stage. That's why for me, I get back to my workout routine, try to make sure my cardio is good, because on stage, if I do got a fast part, I'm at least maintaining it and not rapping over my lyrics, and people can see I'm with this shit. I'm not just a gimmick like some of the other guys. 'Cause I'll be real with you, I've DJed a lot of people, and when there are times where I will pick up the headphones and listen to the track, and I know it's them rapping over their lyrics, which I don't mind. Just give a performance. I don't really care if you rap over your lyrics at the end of the day. I just want you to be entertaining. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it doesn't matter if you are. I personally don't do that. I just like to give a performance regardless. That's why I practice as much as I can. But yeah, the guys who like to rap fast and everything, and I put on the headphones and I hear the audio in the background, I don't hear them on the mic. Come on, man, what are you doing? You got to do better and shit like that. And that's what really drives the gimmick into the ground, and I don't like that. But shout out to the ones who are really dope in this day and age who do fast rap. I know my homie Casual Pharaoh, hella good chopper and shit. I fucks with his shit heavy. But I mean, that's one of the main ones for me personally. Because I go for there's a lot of guys I've listened to that aren't on that level and stuff like that. But the big ones like King ISO, Ritz, fucking not Sesqua, UBI and everything like that. But yeah,
I mean, Rex kind of fast.
Yeah, absolutely and shit. I fucks with a lot of good fast artists and everything still. As long as it's dope, you know what I mean? I just want it to be entertaining at the end of the day from that part.
And what's cool for me, so you've heard my music, and you maybe wouldn't classify it as like the most hip hop when you first hear it. Like I'm not really supposed to be in conversations about RA and Afro and recognize based on how my shit sounds on stage. But it's just like you take that like listenability back to the fast rap. I want to take that like lyrical ability to the melody rap. Yeah, you know what I mean? So when people hear my shit, they're like, he can rap.
He can rap.
He doing some shit for the ladies.
Like I had one of my boys, T Sway, tell me, shout out to T Sway, did some of my singles. Getaway was one of my favorites that we did. But he told me that I got kind of like a Miles Monday kind of vibe and everything. I've been listening to a lot of Miles and AJ Snow, and I'm like, I do see what they're talking about now and everything. For me,
that's what we should get on. Some West Coast AJ Snow.
I fucks with that shit. Yeah, definitely. You know, but yeah, once I heard those type of vibes, I was like, okay, now I see where my style's going. This is kind of fitting the chill tone of what Kevin Mike Check's about. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? But you're still going to hear some bars with my shit at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But I do love the movie path that I do with it. I love movies, so I adapt that shit to my projects every time. Like my next project, I'll give a hint. It's called Chill Fella, Good Play Off Goodfellas. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have like a little mafia vibe to it, and this is just some dope stories.
That's
fire, I'm excited for that shit.
Yeah, I'd love to help out with that.
Hell yeah.
Well, man, if there, last question.
Yeah.
If there was a set in time, a threshold, if there was a threshold 3 years from now that you would want to be through, whether that's being on the road, whether that's touching new markets, new amounts of money, what should that look like within 3 years? How far should the music have reached, and what does the album need to do to get you there?
Oh boy. First of all, shout out to my boy Smoking Purple. He's like my video guy, and he's just been a good homie and kind of helping me build the plan as we go along with stuff. So we're about to link up again and talk some more business, but we've been talking like just long-term plans. So for me, once I feel I get my website and LLC bags, I did have an LLC. I didn't utilize it for my shit because artists, you are a business. Get your LLCs, you know what I'm saying? Try to earn your shit. So for me, once I get those back in order, I feel it'll go from there. And it's a matter of discipline too. Really a lot of discipline on like how I spend, what I invest in, and what I associate with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me in 3 years' time, I hope and I know, it's a weird thing to say, because I mean, sometimes you never know how things are going to go, but you really want to believe it. I know that for sure I will be on the road, traveling different places and everything. Within a regional portion, at least, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying, I want to be national. I also want to be realistic on how the progress is going and where my fan bases are at. But at the same time, trusting the process is really the key point at the end of the day. So in 3 years, I hope to be just on the road, meeting different people, doing more interviews like this, creating my own platforms and stuff like that, and just having a brand of Kevin Mike Check be known as just a dope independent rapper and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like just be known amongst like the Techs, the Blow Russells, the Russes, even if that gets to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Exactly.
I respect that.
Yeah, true that and everything. You know, but for me, I've always told myself I'm a fan first, artist second. So I always learn it before I earn it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Two people I think of in that category are DJ Quick.
Yeah.
And Anderson .Paak.
I love fucking
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
because they're the type of niggas who will help fix your shit in the middle of a tech breakdown, but then they're also superstars regardless. Yep. You know what I mean? And they're just respectful. And that's how if you're wondering, that's how we look at you, bro. You know what I mean? That. Yeah, you have that level of respect. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that heavy.
Where can people find you, find the album, and someone who's never heard you, first thing that you want them to know right as this interview is ending?
Okay, so y'all can find me all platforms, Kevin Mike Check. All social media is Kevin Mike Check. For TikTok, it's replace the E's with a 3. So Kevin Mike Check for that. Chopping and Chilling is on even.biz. It is a direct-to-consumer platform. Pay what you want, little as $5, big as much as $30. And you get a behind-the-scenes documentary on how the project was made and stuff like that. Little cool interviews that me and the homie Smoke worked on right there. And then for me, if you haven't heard me before, man, shit, I'm here to bring chill vibes and dope rhymes, and you know what I mean. I'm here to make your day a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I'm just optimistic as hell with that shit. If that makes
Yes,
sense.
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Congrats on the new album, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you for coming to see me, man.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Mike Check, y'all. Go tap in.
Much love.